to 152.
52.
Episode 152 of Anime and Us. I'm TJ.
I'm Shawn. Sorry. I was reading.
That's fine. I'm messing this whole intro up anyway. What difference does it make? And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z. Sort of.
So continuing or starting our theme, I should say, because A is kind of starting.
Well, I mean, we started
numbers
with...
and symbols. And,
yeah,
but A.
Whatever.
With the theme of each letter we get to pick. A was sort of mine, but, you know, it's not a dictatorship. We're going to talk about it. And we got Ajin Demi-Human.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Gaimon Sakurai. Gaman, right? That beats me.
Oh, God.
It was serialized in Kodansha's Seinen manga magazine.
Seinen?
I guess. Good afternoon. Okay. From July 2012 to February 2021.
That's what the wiki said.
Okay.
That's what the wiki said. He's just reading it for one.
Well, I guess, you know, it was in the manga magazine.
Oh, it was
from 2012, yes, to 2021.
So it's close.
That's pretty long. It's finished now, but that's a pretty long manga. I know there's more to it than the 2 seasons, but I don't know. I guess 1 more season, maybe 2 more seasons. I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on how many chapters are released per time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be 1 chapter every year for all, you know.
One more season. It was adapted into a 3D animated film trilogy by Polygon Pictures between, those were movies, from 2015 to 2016. I'd be interested in watching that. Anime television series adaptation, also by Polygon Pictures, aired between January to April 2016 with a 2nd season that looks like it's not there, but live action film adaptation.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, live action film. Just for you, Shawn.
So it's been 2 weeks since we watched this. I watched it in like the first day.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I watched the 2nd season. So you might need to help me with the timeline a tiny bit, because the 1st and 2nd season, although like different things happen, the show kind of melds together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It feels like the 1st season's the first half of the show.
Yeah, it really is.
It felt like it was
not
just
a whole lot really truly happened in the first
season.
There's a couple cool things at the end, though.
First season ends on like a cliffhanger kind of thing. So, premise?
Essentially, they're living in a world just like ours, but X amount of years ago, I can't remember how many, people started to not die, but only a few. Like, Japan officially only has 2 of them that are recognized anyway, and people know about.
Right.
So that you think about how many people are in Japan, and the whole world's kind of like that. And essentially, you know, you're living your life, you get hit by a bus or something along those lines, you die, and then you come back to life, and people are like, what the f***? Mm-hmm. Now, for some reason, they're not afforded human rights of any kind. Yes. For whatever reason, didn't really get into it too much. I guess because people are just afraid of them, but they could have illustrated that quite a bit more, because they really didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
So the government, pretty much all governments, to the best of our knowledge, takes them, and then dissects them, tortures them, yeah. You know, trying to figure out how they tick. One would think, with the way that they go about it, it might be smarter. Like, maybe you do that to 1 or 2 of them, but, like, if you get a 3rd one, maybe you don't torture them. Maybe you just talk to them and ask them questions. Because, like, there's so much they don't know, and they've had these people for years. Like, maybe speaking to them and asking them questions could, like, go a little further for you.
Maybe, but then we wouldn't have a show.
Yeah. I mean, you still could. Just, you know, there's one other one that's giving them more information.
Oh, isn't that the one that's working for them? It does?
Sort of, but they never really talk to her and question her. And, like, the one that's working for him is controlled by the one guy, and he's the only one that knows about her.
Oh. I thought they all knew about her.
No, he's the only one that knows that she's in a gene.
Oh, I didn't know.
So...
I thought she was the first one that in custody that everyone knew about.
No.
So who's the first one?
I think it's Sato.
No, Sato's the second one. They went out.
No, the kid with the black hair is the second one.
No, he's the 3rd one, because he says there was only 2 known when they talked to...
I think Sato was the first one.
No, he was the second one. I'm telling you.
Then he's the second one, and the other one's the first one.
No,
I'm pretty sure there is, like, if there is another one, like you're suggesting, he never gets brought up. Like, ever.
I'm just saying...
I always thought it was Sato and what's his name?
That's why I thought it was the girl, because in class, when they're learning about it for the first time before he's in Ajin, they say there are only 2 in Japan that we know of right now.
Yeah, it's not her, because specifically a couple times he, like, pressures her. And in the 2nd season, it's even more clear that she's not known by everyone else. But he, like, talks her and pressures her quite a few times throughout the show that, like, hey, I'm the only reason why you're able to live your life. You want to be on the table like that guy?
Well, I just took it he was protecting her from all that.
No, he doesn't have any power.
Maybe not everybody knows who she is, but maybe a few.
Maybe a couple know, but not like, she's one of the two that Japan has. You know what I mean?
I just, that's what I was assuming, because that's what.
Now, if there is another one, then it's someone they haven't introduced even in the second season. But I'm pretty sure it's Sato, and I forget the guy's name, but the guy with the black hair.
The main character?
No, the long black hair. The main character's Kei Unagi. I know his name. He's the third one, officially.
Yeah, and then, like, the guy that's working with the old man?
Yeah.
Isn't that guy working with the old man named Sato?
The old man is Sato.
Oh.
With the hat? Old man with the hat? He might be Ken. I feel like it's Ken. Guy with the black hair.
I thought Ken was Ryu's training partner.
Okay. I got a sticker of them choking each other out. Anyway, yeah, so essentially, premise is, like, this is that world. The main character, Kei Nagi, is, semi-genius. They kind of bring it up a bunch of times. But he seems to just be, like, a fairly smart kid that's going to be going into medical school one day.
I thought he was a sociopath.
I definitely think he's a sociopath.
I think that's what he's designed to be, because he's emotionless and he just thinks everything critically. And I think
and he only cares about himself and what he wants. He wants a quiet life. He wants to get back to it.
And that's what they were implying. And maybe that's why he's different, because he's...
It pushed him up until the end of the first season to, like, alright, it's time to fight against Sato, because until he's taken out, I'm not going to be able to live a quiet
until it
life.
affected him.
Like most Republicans.
You would know.
So, essentially this kid, semi-genius, whatever, psychopath, he's talking with his sort of friends, walking down the street. He's looking at flashcards because he's got school or whatever, and a bus hits him and kills him.
And then he comes back.
And he starts running.
Yeah. He has a friend with blonde hair that I thought was going to be a bigger part, and then he disappears. Like,
he becomes a bigger part in the third season.
Oh.
In the second season, he's as scarce. You really don't see him that much. You see, he goes to juvie and he finds an Ajin, and his Ajins that has, the black thing that comes out of them. The Ajins can summon, like, a black, invisible
version of themselves.
Yeah, something like that. And they can fight for him. Well, he finds one in juvie that has wings, so they can, like, escape.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there were characters that just popped in and out of this that I thought were, like, supposed to be...
A couple, like his sister, Kay's sister, you'd think would be more important. Again, third season. You see her once or twice in the second season.
And then they introduce characters later on in the season that...
Like halfway through.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I guess this is
both seasons should have been released very close to each other.
Uh-huh.
Like, at least 1 year apart, and they weren't. They were a couple years apart. And it's a couple years before we're getting a third season. If you were going to do that, you should have made them way closer.
They should have just released as one season.
Yeah, that would have been better. But, budgetary issues, I get it.
No, I guess.
But
there's just... It doesn't feel like a comprehensive first season.
It doesn't feel complete.
Yeah, no, it feels like...
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
With the 12 episodes. Like, a lot. And then the 24 episodes, we get, like, it's too long. You could have made this 12. But, like, that's a thing. Sometimes the 12s need to be longer. It really should have been one 24-episode season or whatever the second season is. And a lot of these 24-episode seasons are just fluff.
Yeah. I don't know.
Alright, so he gets hit by the bus. He's running from everyone because it's public. Everyone sees that it happened. So now the police are chasing him and everything.
And he's supposed to be the main character, but then he just does nothing for most of the season. And then we switch over to a different main character.
Sato. Sato's cool as shit. I love Sato. And he takes a little while to get cool.
Oh, yeah.
The second season, he's so badass in the second season.
We only watched the first season, by the way. Where I got to is he dropped the building on that pharmaceutical.
I love that. That was so cool. He's just on top of the building as he blew it up with C4, and it's like falling down on a character he said he was going to kill publicly. And it's so cool.
And
it's dumb and grandiose, whatever that word is, whatever it is. But it was cool. It's like an action film, like a summer, you know what I mean? Like a summer action film.
Yeah, it's very flashy. And it's held up by its flashiness and its dark tone.
No, not completely.
And its dark tone.
It's dark tone, yes.
So it's very edgelordy.
I mean, so Sato's whole motivation is he wants to, on the face of things, get Ajin rights.
Yeah, no, right? I know, but it's extremism on both sides.
Sure. But, I mean, when they're coming at you and killing you, you have to be extreme back. You can't be like, hey, wait, let's talk.
Yeah, except they use the fact that they can't be killed as a reason to do this stuff. Like, the story. It was like, how do we do the most extreme things without having to worry about, killing
the main character?
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, that's kind of most shows,
that's kind of my problem with this show, is that since no one can die, I felt no stakes in anything.
They get into it a little bit in this season with how
they can cut off their head and they might be a different person, but it's still the same person. Yeah. It's a cop-out, honestly.
No, it's not a cop-out. That's a Deadpool thing. It's a Wolverine thing. It's a thing that's talked about.
But there's still Deadpool and still Wolverine.
It might not be if you cut their heads off. The one comic I read, Deadpool was a different person. It took a while for him to become, alright, I'm going to go be a superhero again.
I didn't feel any stakes to anything, because it just felt like, it was like, okay, they could cut off their head, but a different version of that person's still going to be...
But that's how you die. If your consciousness is gone, you're dead.
I know. I get it. I get the reason behind it. It's just, it felt like they knew they wrote themselves into a corner, so they wrote themselves out of the corner.
I don't think that was writing into a corner. I think they should use it more often, because there's one or two times where it could be super useful.
I don't know. I just don't think you needed the whole they come back from the dead thing. You can have the same story with just super rejuvenation.
But the action scenes are so cool with them coming back from the dead. Like, they go because they're falling asleep from a tranquilizer dart, and Sato just puts his gun to his head and goes, time to reset, click.
Yeah, I know, but you can still have that just with super rejuvenation.
Sort of. I mean, you could argue that, like, a tranquilizer wouldn't be as effective against them, right? Because they're constantly healing, but, like, then you just put, like, a whale's dose in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And, like, the tactics that are used, I don't know if you saw it. So what was the ending scene? Was it the building crashing on the other building, or was there more to it?
The ending was the kid getting the other kid out of the truck container and them running and jumping off the cliff.
Okay. Did Sato fight anyone after the building crashed down? Did he have a fight?
He fought the military guys.
Okay. That was a cool scene, because, like, you actually see, like, real tactics against the Ajin Special Defense Force, whatever the they called it. So, like, they're constantly shooting him and switching people out so they can reload, and constantly shooting and switching people out. It was a cool idea. It worked pretty well. Almost worked, except they had snipers and Ajins,
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to like this one.
I liked it. It's not perfect, but it's cool, right? Rule of cool, am I right?
Yeah, but my whole thing is, it's just not for me.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? I couldn't get into it. I was bored a lot of the time.
It's slow. The second season's, I don't want to say 10 times better, but it's a lot better.
Yeah, because that's definitely a problem. It's very paced, very slowly, because there's a lot of the one kid just trying to pretend he's normal and stuff. And
he's trying to reason things out.
Yeah,
and just even in a situation where he shouldn't be talking to himself, he kind of is.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, it is cool what scenes, but it just feels like a lot of set pieces.
Yeah. It should have been a bigger season.
Yeah. I mean, I can't judge it based on the second season because I haven't seen it before, so I can only judge for what I've seen. But it's it's all right. I don't feel like I need to watch more of it.
I liked it.
I know you liked it. I mean, obviously you picked it, so you really liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I see why people would like it.
The art style was a little weird too. The whole 3D thing was odd. It took a little while to get used to it, but I got used to it.
I never got used to it.
Oh, I got used to it.
I kind of got it. Was like watching dolls talk or something, like toys. Like watching Toy Story, only you don't get used to it. You know what I mean? I never could get past it. And I did get past it and landed Illustrious and stuff like that. But it's just, I guess the world was too realistic.
Yes, it was the world was hyper realistic. Well, not hyper, but super realistic. And then you got these 3D animations.
Yeah, and it just didn't work.
It didn't mesh super well.
Where it works better in fantasy stories, I think. I just don't... It's too uncanny valley for it to work,
That's fair.
But, I mean, it wasn't, distracting to the point where I couldn't watch it. So, I mean, I was able to get through it. It was just distracting at times.
That's fine. 2 things before we go. First, the ending scene with Sato when he's on the building, the skyscraper, and it's falling down. I loved that after he crashed and came back to life, he had a care package drop for like guns and stuff because he knew he was going to have to fight. Mm-hmm. And then in that package was another hat. Like I loved that. Was just funny.
Bring up the website because we got to come.
Oh, all right, sure. And then the other thing is what's going to be in the third season because I read some of the manga. He has to get into a building, Sato, and like it's impenetrable. He can't get in.
So the third season's not out?
No, second season.
Oh, okay.
So he has to get in this building, right?
Go to A.
Okay. Eventually.
I'm just saying, you were going...
So he has to get into this building. He has to kill someone for whatever reason. Uh-huh. And his idea to do it is to put like a meat grinder on top of the building with a fan into like the air ducts. Uh-huh. So he essentially kills himself in that thing, sends himself through the air ducts. And then he pieces himself back together by coming back alive.
I appreciate the ingenuity they use with the deaths. I do, but it also feels like a cop-out to me.
No, it's cool. It's real cool.
But real cool doesn't always work.
It works here. Well, we gotta rate it first.
Yeah, okay.
For me, it's nothing perfect. But for me, it's like a 7. It's enjoyable.
Nah, I found it average. I'm at a 5.
No, it's better than that.
No.
It's better than that.
I found it average at best. Because I felt the story was lacking. I felt it was too slow at points. And because I only watched the first season, I only got half a story. Mm. But it's still good enough to be average for me. So it's not like that's so. I'm at a 5.
We're watching it next time. Maybe I'll pick the second season. All right. So what? Well, A's big, man.
We're going to go back to the wheel after that. Yeah, no, I go up. Yeah, it's.
You don't have your book?
Forgot my book, all right? That's why I told you to bring this up.
Yeah, one job.
So it's
besides everything else that you do for this.
So it's Excel World. Agent Aika. Ajin, obviously. We just did that. Amagi Brilliant Park.
Oh, that's 4.
Yeah, go scroll down. I think it's the...
We got 2 more. So this is 6 now. We were doing 5 before.
Yeah, Attack on Titan, but...
We didn't do Avenger.
No.
Azumanga Daioh?
You know what?
Did we do that?
Yes, we did Azumanga. But you know what? This is too many.
It is too many. I was telling you that last time at the beginning.
I can't keep them straight.
What would I rather watch again out of probably this or Attack on Titan? I enjoy those very much. What else was there? Agent Ika, no desire to watch that again. Neither with Amagi Brilliant Park.
Yeah, I just so many A's. I can't.
Azumanga Daioh. Yeah, I mean, it's not for us; it's for kids.
I think Attack on Titan was a pick of yours. I don't. Oh wait, maybe you did.
It might have been. I don't know, but it was good.
It was an A. You gotta pick an A. You used it in A.
We watched 3 seasons, right? Because the 4th season has 28 episodes. Jesus
yeah, we
Christ,
watched 3 seasons. We definitely did 3 because there was only 1 left, and we've been holding off on doing more because it wasn't finished.
Yeah, I'd probably want to... Oh, Excel World was the other one.
Oh.
I'd probably want to watch Ajin or
Attack on Titan. Yeah. Probably those.
And the others, I mean, Excel World's above Agent Iger. Like, you guys can kind of figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just refer to previous 8 episodes to find out what the list is. At this point, I mean,
you got to put it in the title. Category A. C.A. or something like that, you know what I mean? So, like, that way they can actually do it. They can look through it.
Yeah, I guess.
Go back and edit it all.
Oh, man. So, we're not spinning a wheel because...
It's the pick wheel.
We pick what we want. So, do you want to go back to the website and read so we can read it like we do and everything?
Oh, for Bleach?
Yeah. Because that's what we're doing. Yep. We're doing Bleach for next week because it's one of the big ones and it just feels wrong to not do it.
What was the big 3? It was Naruto?
Dragon Ball.
No, because Dragon Ball was done.
Oh, One Piece.
One Piece and Bleach.
Yeah.
They were the big 3. Not always, but like they were sort of airing at the same time for quite a while, and that's what people called the big 3 animes.
Well, it was referred as the big 4 in Dragon Ball Z.
But it wasn't airing anymore.
Right. But as far as airing consistently, these were
the story opens with the sudden appearance of Soul Reaper Rukia Kuchiki in Ichigo Kurosaki's bedroom. I can pronounce these names pretty well. Plot.
It's one of the big shows. I have actually, going into this, I had never seen an episode of Bleach.
Yeah?
Just like One Piece, I had never seen an episode
So, like, you see the box art with, like, all the cool designs and stuff? That doesn't come into play for, like, another 50 episodes. And it sucks because it gets cool. Plot. A 15-year-old boy, whose name is Kurosaki Ichigo, has the ability to see the spirits. The journey begins when Ichigo first meets with Rukia Kuchiki, a Shinigami, in English Soul Reaper. Her mission in the living world is to find evil spirits called Hollows, then eliminate them. When Rukia first meets Ichigo, she finds Ichigo has a tremendous ability in his soul, and she thinks he is special. The story continues on with twists and turns and excitement and sad. Okay, someone clearly didn't know English when they were typing this. Friends and foes, and the most important of all, everyone in the series has unique superpowers.
You know what? That's a good thing you bring up, because a lot of these descriptions are
oddly typed.
They're kind of crap. But it could be that these are just Japanese uploads and from people who just, or uploaded it, and just English is their second language or something like that.
I would say more than likely specifically with this one.
Yeah. So
action, comedy, drama, supernatural.
Yeah, and like we said, Bleach is one of the big ones, so we're expecting it to be decent at the very least. So
see you guys next episode.
Bye.